Good morning. Last class we have already seen how to write a class in Java and how to access an object in Java. Now today's class is about how to initialize an object in Java program. There are three ways to initialize an object in Java. One is by reference to variable, another is by method, and third one is by constructor. So by reference to variable, it is very familiar to us. When you write a program, you can create as many objects. When you write a program, the main component is you have to write everything in a class, and when you create a class, you can create any number of objects from a class. If you want to initialize any of these objects or variables or parameters in the class, we can use a dot operator, which we have already seen in C++ program. That same method is called by reference to a variable. So if we can see in this program, you have a class. The class name is class student and int id and string name. These are two parameters of the class. And another class in which is I have already mentioned, Java program always should be written inside a class. This is a difference compared to the C++. In C++, first we will write the class, after that we will start with a void main. But in Java, it is not like that. You have to write the void main also inside the class. So that is why the next class is class test student2. So inside this class we are going to start with the main program. Okay, and here the void main, instead of void main you have to write public static void main. In many of the textbook you can see PSVM as a short form. It is public static void main. We will start the program at this point. Okay, and inside this string argument s, this is also very important and is necessary, that you cannot avoid this. And once it is written, you can write the start of the main program. It means that at this point onwards we will start execution of the program like void main. So inside this you can see student s1. Student s1 is equal to new student, which is already mentioned. When you want to create an object, you have to use the class name. If the class name is student, and if you want to create an object, you have to use student s1. So s1 is the object of the class student, and is equal to new. This is equal to new student. New operator, as we have already said, new operator is to assign a memory space to the object created, that is s1 here. Without a new operator, you cannot assign a memory space, or you cannot initialize a memory in the system for an object created. Okay, so that is why we always, whenever you create an object, if you want to allocate a space in memory, you have to use a new operator. This way I have already told in the last class video also. Now if you want to assign a value to an object, okay, so we in our class we have two parameters, that is id, int id and string name. If you want to assign a value to the id or a name, you can use a dot operator. So that is why object name, that is s1 dot id is equal to 101. s1 dot name is Sonu. So this is a kind of initializing the variable, and this is known as by reference to a variable. It's normal, like we are just using dot operator, accessing each parameter that is already mentioned in the class and assigning the value by using dot operator. Okay, and if you want to print the value, here in Java program we will use a statement like system dot out dot println. Okay, and inside the bracket whatever you have to print you can give. So here is s1 dot id and s1 dot name, and here you will use a plus sign with respect to our C++ program, which is not C program, which is not there, we use always like cout instead of for a printing or a display. Our statement is cout. What is different from that is here we will use system.out.println. Okay, and whatever matter you have to print, you can put in the bracket. Now one more thing I want to say is that we are normally in a C++ program, after ending the curly braces, if you are at the end or termination of a program, the last curly braces, after that we will put a semicolon. Okay, in Java program we need not put a semicolon like this. That is one of the difference in writing the program in a Java. Hope you understood this. And next method, we already said we have three methods of initialization. One is by reference to a variable. It is as simple as simply taking a object class name and accessing the variable using a dot operator. Okay, it is nothing new. It is as simple as we have written the C++ program. Now next is, it is something also which we have already seen, but let us say what is this method, initialization through method. In this method what we do is, you can call a method and give the parameter on that point. Okay, just see the example. In this you have the same example, you have class, and class, in that class you have two parameters, in roll number and string name. After that what is coming is, you don't have a semicolon at this end. What is this? This will be a function. So void insert record, and you have two parameters, one is int r and string n. Okay, now inside this, what is it? Is definition of the method. Here we call it's a function, and it is in Java we we always refer this function as method. It is same as function, and in method definition, so the curly braces, and you have to what is the definition? Here the definition is roll number is equal to r and name is equal to n. Okay. Now again you have not initialized the value at this point. Okay, and next again another function is coming up, void display information. Inside there is a printout statement or display statement. In Java it is written like system.out.println, as I have already mentioned in the last slide. After this we are ending up this class. Okay, class student is now almost over, and again we have written another class. What is this class for? This class is for execution of the program, and as I have already said, in C++ program we will always start with a void main, but in Java this is also written inside a class. Okay, so in the class test student 4, you have the first statement, public stat void main, which is the start of execution of the Java program, and string args, and because output of this line will come as a string. So this line is it's compulsory in every Java program to start with. Okay, after that they have simply assumed like student s simply written like student s1 is equal to new student. Hope you understand the meaning of this, because s1 is the object of the student, and if you want to create a space in memory, you have to use the new operator. So new and the class name student bracket. Okay, so that is a method of initializing the variable. This means that s1 object can now access roll number, string name, and also the method void insert record and void display information. Now if you want to create another object, you can say s2, you can create by just writing student s2. But just writing student s2 will not give any access to the parameters like roll number, string, and the other two functions. Only when you use the new operator, new of student, it will give all the access to the all other parameters and the methods inside this class. Okay, otherwise it is as simple as saying, suppose you are declaring like int length. What is the meaning? Int length means length is a variable and is of the type integer. It's just a meaning that it is a type of integer. Okay, very similarly, if you simply write student s1, s1 is an object of the type student. It does not give an access to the parameters and variables and methods used inside the class. So only when you use a new operator with this class name, it can get the parameters, like here it is in roll number, string name, void insert record, void display information. All this can be accessed by the object created S1. Okay, so now I can simply write S1 dot insert record. So this will match up to the first function, that is void insert record. And inside this we have two parameters, int r and string n. So instead of int r, it is our 111. 111 is an integer. Okay, that is integer, it is int. And what is a string? String is string means it is should be in a b c d or some characters, so it is current. So it is now matching up with the first function inside this class. So here how we have initialized the object. Our object is, you have a roll number and the name. Okay, instead of writing the value there, we have, after writing the class, we have used an object, and using this object you have created the student parameters, and with that object we have accessed the method, that is initialization through method. Now again you can display all this value, so we can use S1 dot display information. So it will match up to void display information, get inside this function, and system dot out print. So finally it will print the value current and 111. Hope you understood this. And finally the last method is initialization through constructor. So what we have seen the first two method is, we have to write the class, and after writing the class only we can access the objects, then only you can initialize the values. But through a constructor you can initialize the value on whenever you create an object itself, you can create or initialize the value. That is the difference in writing, difference in initializing through constructor. So for the time being, what is the definition? It's already the same. Constructor is a special type of method that enables an object to be initialized itself when it is created. That is what is important. Like whenever you create an object, that at the time it gets initialized. Okay, constructors are the same name as the class itself. They don't have a specified return type, not even void type. Okay, so just look at this example. This is constructor initialization. So you just listen to me. What I am saying is, you will, whenever you create an object, and that time itself its value will get initialized. Okay, so here the first class is class employee. Class employee will have two parameters, that is int employee id and string name. Okay, now if you look at the next sentence, it is employee int id comma int string name, int id comma string name. So this is a constructor having two parameters. What are the two parameters or two arguments, that is int id and string name, that is given along with that inside the bracket. Okay, why do we say it is constructor? It has the same name as the class. So here the class name is employee, so again employee in int id string name. So this is a constructor. The constructor is constructor will have a special type of method, will have the same name as the class name. Okay, now one important thing I want to focus here is, whenever you are creating a constructor, automatically its value will get initialized. See, if suppose I have written like int id and string name, that are the two parameters. Instead of this, inside this, if I have written like what is the value is some other, if I given the value like some, instead of id I give some 45, that is my id number, and name is current. So what happens, automatically it will be initialized into the value. So inside the employee id is equal to id, so employee id will get 45, this not employee name, that will get what name of the person, that is current. So here it's automatically or it is initializing on the point. If you give the parameter value at that time itself, it will get initialized. That is why in constructor we can initialize when the object is created. Okay, now void information, void info, that is the next method, which is not a constructor. Why it is not a constructor? Because it does not have the class name, so it is different from the class name, so hence it is not a constructor. And you have a information inside that system dot, this is a kind of just a display information, just like a cout in our C++ program. Now we have already said we have to write everything inside a class in Java. So again the void main program is coming, void main line is coming, that is public static void main string args, which is the most important point to write in a Java program. From this point our execution of the program starts. So it inside this we have written employee obj1. Employee is a class and obj1 is the object of our class. And as I have already said, we have to use a new operator. So new employee, and inside this we are given 1024 and Chaitanya, which will be automatically initialized. When the program starts at this point, it will go to the first sentence employee obj1 and it will directly move to the employee of the function in the class, and it automatically it will be assigned 10245 and Chaitanya to employee ID and employee name. So automatically it is initializing at that point is 1, and when after that you can display the values. So obj1.info. So method overloading, some few points to be noted in method overloading. It will have constructor. In regarding constructor, it is having the same name as the class name. So next is method overloading. It is something similar to our constructor, and we can say, but you can use the same name or same function name or method name. In Java normally we say it is method instead of function. Same function name one or two times or in a number of times, but the parameters will be different or arguments will be different. Okay, so you may not understand what I have said now. Just look at this program. So in this program you have a class rectangle. Okay, and the class you have two parameters, that is integer length, that is int length. Length is of a type integer, and width the other parameters, that is other variable int width. Okay, next you have rectangle int a comma b, int a comma int b. So this is our constructor. Why is this called constructor? Because the class name and the function name are the same, and you have two parameters. Okay, or two arguments. So once the constructor, now the constructor definition is given. So then again we will start up with a bracket. Here we have written length is equal to a and width is equal to b. So as I have already said, you can initialize at this point itself. If you give int a instead of int a and int b, if you give a value, automatically the length will be given, length and width will be getting the value on the spot. Okay, now next is again rectangle int a. This is actually again a constructor. Why? Because rectangle same name is coming, class name, but only one parameter. Okay, so this is int a, only one parameter, again it is a constructor. Okay, and inside the definition is written length is equal to width is equal to a. Now next is again another constructor but no parameters. So this is known as default constructor. Default constructor will not have any arguments or parameters inside the bracket. Okay, so in this I have just written length is equal to 20, width is equal to 15. So please remember we have three constructors here. Constructor, as I have said, it is having the same name as the function name. So our first function constructor is having two parameters, second constructor is having only one parameter, and the last constructor does not have a parameter, hence it is known as default constructor. Okay, now we are moving to another section, say in continuation of this part is in rect area. This is actually next method or function, but it is not a constructor. Why? Because it does not have the same name as the class name. And I have written the function definition as return length into width. You can see in other methods you have three methods, that is rectangle, 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 three constructors, but you don't have a return value here, because in a constructor we never have a return value, not even void will be returned. There is no return type in a constructor. But this is in rect area, it's not a constructor and it is returning a value, so return length into width. Now next line is what? Next line is where we start our execution of the program, and you should remember that everything will be written inside a class, so it is all inside the class rectangle. We have not terminated the class rectangle now. So inside the class, next line, public static void main, and inside this you are creating, just look at the first sentence, rectangle obj1 is equal to new rectangle 10 comma 5. Okay, so here we have created an object of rectangle, that is obj1, and in order to assign the values or giving a memory space in the memory, you are using new rectangle 10 comma 5. Okay, new rectangle 10 comma 5. Now I can say, see, you have three constructors with the same name. So here you have rectangle int a comma b, in rectangle int a, and a rectangle. Okay, so which rectangle function it will map to? Okay, so this is having two parameters. So the Java program, it will look up the how many parameters are inside each constructor. So in the first constructor it is having two parameters, so it will map to this particular constructor at this point. Okay, so automatically the 10 will be given to int a, and 5 will be given to int b. So length is equal to a into b, so length is 10 and width is equal to 5. Okay, now look at the next sentence, rectangle obj to new rectangle 12. So here is an object name is obj2, but it is calling a rectangle constructor having only one parameter. So it will map to the second constructor, that is rectangle int a. Okay, so here length is equal to width is equal to a, so a is automatically here 12, so it will be assigned value 12. Okay, now go to the next statement, rectangle obj3 is equal to new rectangle. So what happens here is, again it does not having any parameters, so it will not map to the first constructor because it have two parameters. Not even to second constructor because it has a single parameter, and it will map to the third constructor because it is somewhat similar to the same that is being called, because it does not have any parameters. So here it will get length is equal to 12 and width is equal to 15, automatically it will be initialized. Next is as simple, same int area, it is giving directly calling area is equal to obj1 dot rect area. So it will get the rect area, means it is having in length into breadth, and you have 10 into 5, so it will print 50. And system dot out dot println is necessary in order to display the program inside Java. So it's in Java you are using system dot out dot println, exactly like cout in C++. Again area is equal to obj to rect area. So here you have only one parameter 12. So here already in the method definition it is given length is equal to width is equal to a. So a is 12, so 12 into 12 144, it will be printed. Again last section is just say similar to the first, very similar way we have already discussed. So what I want to say is that what is method overloading is, you can use any number of function with the same function name having different parameters. Here we have used the function names rectangle 3 times. Okay, but in the first rectangle, it is having two parameters, and second is having only one parameter, and third is having only no parameters. So this is known as method overloading, and it is a feature of Java program that it will go to the match up with any of this function, which is what is being called. It will match up with what is almost like a matching up with the constructors. So here you can see, if you just give, we are calling like with the two parameters, it will match up to the first function. If we are calling with the one parameter, it Java as the choice, it will go to the, it will look over all the function which is having the same name, and according to the number of parameters, it will match up to that particular function. So that is an important feature of Java program. It is known as method overloading. So method overloading is, you can create any number of function with the same name, but a difference in there will be some difference in the parameter list. Okay. So here it is also known as overloaded constructor. Why it is not an overloaded constructor? Because we are using the same class name and same function name, so it is all constructors, and it is overloaded. Overloaded means you are using the same function with different parameters. So that is what is known as method overloading and overloaded constructor. Hope you understood this. If any clarification, please we will arrange a Zoom meeting.